Hello guys, this video is about the monster killing, right? A totally new way through which you can kill the monsters. And obviously if I'm speaking about the kill the monster, let me initially give you the example. If someone is killing any monster with 2.5 m, 2.5 million caps, you can kill the same monster with the 1.5 million caps. That much difference is gonna be there. A method that I'm gonna speak about right now, right? Firstly, before starting the video, let me clarify the one thing that I'm not gonna speak about any method that you already do know, right? I'm not speaking about the research you do it from the academy, or you go to the blazons and you choose the soul set for the more buffs, or they look at the the monarch gear and you choose the mounted attack, defense, HP to get the more the buff from here, or from here you can the activate your the buffs from here. I'm not gonna speak about any of those methods that you guys already doing it right now, or from the shrine, they do the offering and they activate it, right? I'm not gonna speak about you do all of these things, right? So if not these things, then what exactly is that method through which we can easily kill the monster? And and many of you are not still aware of that. Then for that, guys, let me firstly inform you that the moment I will speak about and will show you the outcome, the later into the video, you would be like, why the hell I'm not implementing it till right now? It's so simple. Why the I never came to know about it, right? So firstly for that, guys, let me the tell you the one thing that in the game there are two important gear available that is given by the EVONY freely, and that is used for the debuffing. The first one, all of us we know, the pretty clearly, you know, those are what? Those are the, these Acmedea gears, right? Or whatever you call it to be exact. These are the PvP gears, right? That we will use it on our subsidy for the PvP debuffing, right? Similarly, there is a one more gear that is freely available given from the Ovoni that we all think as a lower level gear. The those are the dragon gear. These are also the debuff gear, and these are specifically for the monster. You remember this. The Acmede gear is for the PvP debuffing, right? And these dragon gear is for the monster debuffing, right? If you know exactly how to use it effectively, right? That's why game is so unbalanced and people are using so high amount of horses, because no one is implementing the debuff within the monster effectively, while you guys at the same time do know how to do the things in the PvP, right? You know how the outcome is gonna be different if you're going with the debuff or not going with the debuff. While knowing the same stuff, none of you is implementing the debuff over the monsters, right? No one is using the dragon gates, right? Now let me show you the exact setup that you can use it to debuff the monster and get the huge change in the outcome, right? So firstly, for that, let me show you the PvP generals. We use the PvP general, like this one. Yon Guy Summon, the his PvP, what is that? They reduce enemy troop attack by 10%, that's why you're using it over, the as a sub general so that we can debuff the NEP. All of you, might be already do know. And within that, how we use it, we put up the all the, the Acmede gear, the whatever the, the debuff we wanted, right? Similarly, we're doing it with the all the generals, right? That is there for the PvP debuffs, right? We're putting up the, the PvP debuff gear. We all know about it, how to use these things effectively, right? But now let me show you the exact setup for the monster debuffing. How you use it for the monster debuff. Yes, for monster killing as well, the right setup exists for the monster debuffing. Now let me show you the my setup. How I'm using the Sanada Yukimura. You can use any monster debuff general because it gives the 5% monster defense reduce, right? Now look inside it. I'm using the four dragon gear, four pieces of dragon gear. Look closely. That is activating my second skill, that is the monster attack and defense minus 10%, right? Now, again on the second subsidy, I'm using the same. The four pieces of the dragon gear that is doing the monster attack and defense minus 10%. Now, again, on the third subsidy, I'm using again the dragon gear, monster attack and defense. My target is to achieve this particular skill, right? Now, all the subordinate cities, I have the six, right? I'm using the same dragon gear, four pieces to activate this skill, right? Now below it, right? Again the same. On the sixth one, I have put it up the leasing because I didn't have the another Sanada Yukimura, and leasing is also having the four pieces of the dragon gear that is activating the monster attack and defense minus 10%, right? So I'm putting all of these general on my subcities. You guys can clearly see it whenever I'm going for killing the monster. Now, many of you, I'm gonna show you the outcome as well. Now, many of you will think this could be for this solo. Don't worry about it. In this particular video, watch till the end, and I'm gonna show you how you can do over the rally as well, right? So don't worry about anything. Just watch the video till the end. I'm gonna give all the solutions, right? Now, I have my monster debuffing setup available through the dragon gear, right? Two important gear into the game. Acmede gear is for the PvP debuffing, and dragon gear is there for the monster debuffing, right? Now, guys, let me inform you the one thing. This thing, you have to listen very carefully. The reason why no one, is or many of the people, they still till right now, unable to use the dragon gear or the monster debuff effectively. The reason is why, because in the PvP debuff gear, what happens over the report, everything is available. You can clearly see how much debuff you doing, how much debuff you have, how much buff enemies having, and how much debuff you actually doing. All the things are in written, and because of that you can clearly see how the things are working. But in the monster debuff, things do not go like that, right? There is nothing written in the report, there is nothing in the written, so it's totally the assumptions and the hypothetical analysis that you have to do in your mind to understand the things are working. So for that particular part, let me explain so that things should not be difficult for you, and you should not go any other way. I'm just explaining so that you have the better idea regarding this particular part, right? So firstly, let's think about it. In the monster, there are 1 to 30 level exist. These are just the hypothetical situation, right? Where first level is what, when you just barely kill any monster over the huge damage, right? This is the level 1. And when you improve your horses, you improve your buff, you increase your the levels, right? But in the monster killing, what happens that the from level 1 to the level 10, right, you improving, definitely improving, but you gonna get the approximately the same damage, right? From level 1 to level 10, you gonna get the same damage. There could be the little bit difference, but the huge difference would be there when you gonna reach the 11th level. Now from the 11th to 20th level, it's gonna be the same damage. You definitely improving, but it's gonna be the same damage, right? But the moment you reach the moment you reach the 21st level, suddenly there will be the huge change in the outcome. You getting the less wounded, right? And the exact moment, the when from the 21st level to 30 level, what happened, the again is the same outcome, right? But the moment you hit the 30th level or just cross it, now you would be getting the huge difference, and you would be able to kill the monster on the zero damage. And because of these kind of the fundamental that exist within the monster, right, and we are unable to identify exactly at what level we are killing the monster. Sometimes what happens that you, if you try to use the only the four pieces of dragon gear, or maybe on the one subordinate cities, it might not make any difference, right? Or might be somewhere it makes any difference, right? For example, you're killing any monster on the first level, you put up the one piece of the dragon gear, right, activated the one time, you reach the 7th level, right? But again you're gonna get the same damage. So it seems like, it's not working, right? Or when you put up the second piece of the dragon gate, right, and you're killing the monster with the subordinate cities, there's so many times it seems like might be the powers from the subordinate cities are working, but actually that is not the fact. In reality, what is working is the debuff. But I'm just explaining you all of those things so that you can have the idea how the things are working in the background, right? Otherwise, you don't have to pay attention to this particular part. Just over all of your subordinate cities, put up the four pieces of the dragon gate, exactly like, the right now, I'm doing over here. The just four pieces of the dragon gear all over, over all of your subordinate cities, and it should be the pretty much fine, and you would be able to kill the monster pretty easily. Now, let's proceed to the outcome part, right? And again, I would be speaking about the solo killing and the rally killing as well. Just go through the video and you would understand, exactly how. So guys, let's try to see the outcome on the B16 first. So firstly, I'm going with the, these PvP gates. Let me show it to you. The all of them are having the, the Acme gear. The reason why I'm trying with this, because these are having the more power through the subordinate city. So I would like to show you how much difference or what kind of the outcome would be there when you're attacking with the, the subordinate city where you have the higher power. Afterwards, we would go with the monster debuff setup, right? So right now, let's try to attack it. I'm using the Roland. I'm using pretty humble setup. I don't have the speciality upgraded. You guys might be having those things. If you're not the much spender, then you might be having the same setup like me. I'm using the 1.58. I'm, the troops. So let's attack it and see, what kind of the outcome would be there. Man, it's a huge defeat, right? We are nowhere near clear, the defeating this monster. 9.7 empower damage, and the 79k horses damage is literally huge, right? So let's firstly, the heal the whatever the damage we have got. I have the snacks available. Now, let's put it up the, the our monster debuff setup. That is the general Sanada Yukimura that I'm using, and the, the gears in it, the are the four pieces of dragon gear, right? Guys, I have the rank baron, so I can, only do the debuff through the six subordinate city. But if you have the higher rank, that means that you have the higher advantage than me, and you might be having the much better result than me, right? So with six subordinate city over it, the I'm, putting, the all the, these monster debuff gears and the general, to have the better outcome. And the legion, as I told you, the why I'm putting it, because it's also have the, the dragon gears. So now let's attack it and see, the what would be the difference. Right now, these subordinate cities, I think, is having the 6M power. I'm using the same troops, same general, same gears, everything is the same. Just the monster debuff setup, and previously it was the, the PvP gears, right? Oh man, we are actually able to kill it, and with the 3.5M, I think is the power damage, and the damage of horses that we are getting is the 28k wounded horses. Man, that's a huge difference, as compared to the previous report, because over that, we were getting the 79k, horses damage, 51k horses damage. It's a huge. You would be needing at least 1 million more troops, to have the that much difference. So these kind of the difference these dragon gates are actually doing, these monster debuff, is actually doing. Now let me show you my general as well. I'm using these gates, right? I don't have any fancy gates available, right? And these are my refinements and all, right? And sometimes I'm using the Acme ring. Sometimes I change it with the dragon, ring with the, the double drop rate. And again, the, this setup over here, the again you can see it. What I'm using is the, in the 5%, the monster defense, and again within that, is the monster gear that, every one of you can easily attain, and can implement the same. You don't need to spend for this particular setup. Now let's try to kill the other monster as well. Level 5 golem, we are gonna go with the same setup. I'm using the Roland and another assistant general without specialty max, no fancy stuff, just the normal stuff. And let's see what would be the outcome, while killing the level 5, right? and we killing it over the we have the zero power loss. It's all perfectly we are killing it, over the zero power loss, right? You can clearly see it. And right now in the game there is a just one more higher level golem exit, that is the level 6 recently released one, right? So right now let's check it about the level 4 Ymir. What would be the before showing you the outcome, let me tell you that I can even kill the level 4 Ymir, even over the even with the the very less number of the caps. I'm using the 1.58 amp, but I can even kill this one over the very less number of the troops and will get the zero damage on it, right? And if you have the higher subsidies, you have the specialty max, all of those things are there, then you might be needing the even lesser troops than me, right? Again is the zero damage. Let's try the excellent bear knight, right? Now you can see that only the recent release monster is available. The all of these, we can kill it pretty much on the zero damage with the K35 keep, and with the that much, the horses. You might be needing even lesser than that, as I informed you. It depends upon how much you debuff in the monster. Obviously there is a one point could be there, that the how much exactly we can debuff the monster, whether there is any cap or not, right? But let's forget about it. Now let's try to see the level 5 Yumin, whether we can kill it or not, right? Again with the same setup, right? With the normal Mars side, 361 amp power, right? We're using the all those Sanada Yukimura, all those debuffers, same amount of the horses I'm using. And let's see what would be the outcome with the Wi-Fi Yumin, right? Again, we are able to kill it. The damage is a little high, but if I add the the 300k or 400k more horses, I would be able to kill the Ymir 5 as well, right? And those of you having the higher rank and the specialty and all those are added, you might be having the better outcome than me, right? So in the end, you don't need that many, the high number of the horses or all those fancy stuff to kill the monster. Even as a FTP player, you can easily kill the monster, as right now I'm doing right now. You can clearly see it. Again, the one more example for the Ymir 5. Again, right now this is the Ymir time. I would have shown you the Hydras as well. You can easily kill the legendary Hydras as well. Those are pretty easier than the Ymir 5. And senior Cerebrus and all the the event based monster, whatever they exist into the game, you can kill the all. The only one that will remain is the very recent release monster, right? And now regardless of your level, whatever your level is, your level is, your keep level is, if right now you're killing the Y2 just by implementing this setup, you will immediately start killing the Y3, right? Whatever your level, you will automatically start killing bigger level monster with the very less damage or no damage without making the more horses. Now guys, this was about the solo part. Now what about the rally? How we can kill the or debuff the monster over the rally then, right? So rally part, it's approximately the same. What do you need to do? Whenever you raise any rally for your alliance, like suppose like it, now whatever the person who is joining, just ask that person to put the dragon gear on their general. So with that, what's going to happen, that your general automatically that will work as a buffer for the troop that you're leading, and the person whoever is joining your rally, the gates from the that general will work as a debuffer over the monster, right? So ask at least 5 to 6 people to join your rally and put the dragon gates over their general, so that you can easily debuff the general and can easily have the the pretty much good outcome from it. So this is about the rally part pretty easily, that I think they pretty much everyone they can implement it. So guys, this is about the right now about the the video, right? If you guys liked it, then I will appreciate. If you like the video, subscribe my channel, and I will see you guys now in the the another video that I will make on the EVONY. More content would be there on the EVONY as well. So let's stay in touch. Yeah, thank you guys.